Gernon. I was unfortunate enough to be on the losing end of one of those appearances back in 2014. There is no question that the kids from Ellington are comfortable in this environment.
And here we are. We are ready to go at Willow Park. We were going to cap it off with a good one in Class M. Ellington versus Plainville. Plainville will start out. The ball played to the wing. Jim, Plainville, we do know they have a couple players to watch, guys, that have been talked about throughout the state. You want to kind of point us in the right direction if you're watching at home, Plainville in the white, who to keep an eye on and who will be the threat for the Ellington defense?
Yeah, and Torres and Grzuski are the two players that I think Tim Brown believes will make a difference. Ellington gets the ball in the box and a cross is knocked down by Plainville.
That's Jimmy Maznicki in the box right there, and he's a guy who is not unfamiliar with the situation. He's scored some big goals in his time, loves to bring the energy, but he did make a move recently for this Ellington team. He's a guy who loves to play in the midfield, but Coach Gernon asked him, hey, can you step up and play somewhere else for us? It wasn't probably initially an easy decision for him, but he's done it for his team.
Yeah, no, when talking to Roy about this team, he says one of the things about it that's interesting is he's got 5 guys that have 9 or more goals. And really, when he put together Maznicki and Zahner up top, both midfielders, but now developing as a strike force, good things have happened for them.
And here's our first opportunity, Jim. We'll see Ellington take the corner from the near side of the field. There you go. I mean, a deep service into the box, hard header.
Good header on goal and comfortably cleared by Zaldivar.
You want to call him Serge?
Zaldivar, actually his coach calls him Spider-Man.
Yeah. I like that.
He's got a long kick. Earlier this season when they played Weatherfield, he took him out of goal, much like we saw with the Hall game earlier today, put him in the midfield. He scored the only goal in a 1-1 tie with Class L semifinalist Wethersfield. So very athletic and a good goalkeeper.
The one thing that struck about Plainville so far during this tournament is how they play the game. If you're a fan of soccer, or if you're not, you appreciate how hard this Plainville team plays, and with the aggression they play with the throttle down. They're aggressive, and that's kind of been their MO recent years. I know talking with you back in the day when we were both in different positions, you were always fearful of getting a Plainville team in your draw somewhere.
Yeah, no, we drew Plainville in the quarterfinals in both 2014 and 2015, and a couple of hard-fought wins. They get the ball in the box. Great save by the Wellington keeper. A second chance for Plainville, and it goes just wide.
It doesn't take long there. Ellington having to defend, and a big moment 3 minutes into this, less than 3 minutes into this one. We'll go to the goaltending specialist here. What did you see in that moment that allowed Ellington to keep the 0 up on the board?
Well, just good reaction saved by the keeper. Gave up a rebound in front, and the second finish wasn't on frame. But at that point, there's nothing you can do but just try to get the ball away.
And this is going to be part of the story throughout this thing. Can Ellington slow down the momentum and the speed of Plainville? Zahner, you see on the far side there, doing a good job of making a strong tackle. But look at this ball through now to the far side of the box.
And a goal kick for Plainville.
So early on here, Coach Gernon and his staff have got to go, that deep sigh. Plainville threw at something very, very high quality there in that opening few minutes, and they're going to regroup.
Well, we talked about it earlier. We said it in the first game that there was no way we were going to see a 4-3 game in that first contest. And, I'm not betting against a 4-3 game here because both these teams push the ball.
And another thing we've seen throughout the day at Veterans Stadium is the play of goalies not afraid to take the ball out of the box, to be aggressive, and for you get excited when you see that. That makes you happy as a former goaltender.
Well, goalkeepers have to be soccer players. You need to be able to play with your feet. And we've seen keepers off the line all day playing that sweeper-keeper position. And if you don't do that, you're going to create opportunities for the other team.
And again, here's Plainville down in the final third, trying to get a good look, get something into the box. We'll have a throw-in from Tyler Miller. And we're going to reverse it back upfield. Ellington now will get the ball. And if you are just dropping in, and this is your first game on the network listening, you're taking a look at this field, a big field here, but you're noticing something. You're going to say, did they finish shoveling here? Did they get the job complete? So there is some snow on the side. On the throw-ins, you have to be cautious of that. That has not really been a storyline, but we do want to bring it up as each game gets started, because at some point, somebody's going to trek into the snow and the tundra.
Without question. Plainville pressuring the Ellington backs, but Ellington keeps composure and brings the ball out on the left.
You know, Jim, we talk a lot about experience being a factor in here, but I like. Here's another ball played in. Good ball. Masnicki with a shot, and he blasts it wide, near side wide. Not really the best look he wanted in that situation. Playing with a lot of energy.
Yeah, lots of guys are excited in the first bunch of minutes of the game, and Jimmy may have swung a little hard at that one.
Yeah, but we promise you he will put a lot more on target. I can still remember 2 years ago, one of the all-time classic games in tournament. Recent memory was Granby versus Ellington. Ellington built a 3-0 lead in the semifinals. Granby fought back. Then Masnicki at the time, a younger player, an underclassman, fired a rocket into the net. I don't know if you were there for that game, but it was a classic. And just what stood out to me is a younger player in that situation just having the guts to take that shot and the confidence in his ability. Ball played in. Plainville
So far, our prediction of end-to-end action has been accurate.
Talking, to finish that point where we're at, Coach Gernon really kind of shooed away that thought that they're going to be any more comfortable in this game than Plainville. These players are new players. They've never been in this moment before. He doesn't buy into that at all. He sees that every year is a new year. And he makes a good point. When that final meeting or whenever it be, that group it will no longer exist like that the next year. You restart, and that's a credit to his coaching style. He starts every year with that blank canvas, and boy, does he paint some masterpieces when it's all said and done.
Well, because new leaders come on board, players develop. I mean, high school boys who are 14 and high school boys who are 18 are completely different athletes. So as time develops with these guys, you see different things coming about. But yes, his record is hard to argue with.
That's Tyler Miller down there on the far side of the field, closest to the benches, trying to make something work. And again, can't get it going. But you like the looks, you like the pressure they're trying to put on both sides early on here.
Yeah, this one's not going to be for the faint of heart. You can see players going into tackles and trying to push the ball up both ends of the field.
And there's, that play started from Dane Stevenson, another guy who wears that 10. If you wear that 10, you got to be a playmaker, and he is certainly that. We will be calling his game throughout this and name throughout that, and he is somebody who is clearly on the Ellington game plan. They know that he's going to be a threat throughout.
Here's the ball whipped into the box. Oh, just over the head of the keeper, rattles off the top side of the crossbar and the underside of the football goalpost. That could have caused problems.
Yeah, Jim, I just want to ask you, we're about 8 minutes in here. You like what you see from Plainville? They haven't changed their MO from what we knew they did throughout the season and into the playoffs.
Yeah, these are two Class M heavyweights that are going to stand toe-to-toe and just whack each other.
Yeah.
I think that's what we got. This is, Ellington's certainly not going to back down, and I don't see Plainville backing down either.
Yeah, if you're just dropping into this game, tuning it on, first off, thank you. Second thing, throw out those records. They're pretty useless at this point in the game. Plainville plays an incredibly strong schedule for an M team, and they are prepared and ready to go do battle against Ellington.
Yeah, the CCC West is about as good as it gets.
Yes.
The CCC overall is, I think they can lay claim to the best high school soccer conference in Connecticut. You had both Class Double L finalists, East Hartford a semifinalist, 3 out of the 4 Final Four teams in Class L, Plainville here in Class M. And there's some good teams that aren't even on that list, like Farmington, who some think may have been the best team in Class Double L all year.
Certainly teams will make that argument, and people that watch the game, we are not being apologists. It's been their year this year for CCC soccer. Stevens will play it back, and a good pass out wide here. They've done this a lot so far. That is Tyler Miller, trying to go one-on-one here on the far side, on the near side.
The senior captain whips it across, but an easy save for Ellington.
Certainly Plainville playing like they've been here before, that's for sure. The confidence they've approached this first 10 minutes with is impressive. But as we've said it time and time again, these kids are used to playing big games, and it just doesn't come at the high school level. It comes at the club level, and throughout their soccer lives, they've had these opportunities to kind of feel what the pressure cooker is like. And if you're looking at the other side, we have to know, look at the fans on the other side. We love how that looks on the far side. For the first time today, we have a group of fans ready to go cheer on the opposite.
Yeah, they look like Ellington Knights fans.
What gives that away? The
Knights sign.
Yeah, that's very good, Jim. Nice job. Ellington will play the ball back now, and they'll try and slide it into the midfield and, again, go back to that wing. Service played in, handled confidently by Plainville. They'll throw it out. And Dane Stephen is off on the wing. A little bit of a heavy touch there. And Ellington will regain the ball. We'll have no whistle. That's Chamberlain, Johnny Chamberlain, making the play there for Ellington, but Plainville getting the ball back. I have a feeling we are going to say Mr. Miller's name a lot today.
Yeah, he's working really hard, which is really what Tim Brown said about him. His senior captain who just has a really high work rate, works hard, good athlete, and is going to try to make things happen.
The description I've heard about him throughout the year is he's got that engine that won't turn off.
And another foul on Ellington.
A lot to talk about in this first 10 minutes, but still no score. We're scoreless here in our Class M final. The final game of our triple header. It got started early this morning with a Glastonbury victory, a 1-0 win over Hall where their defense stood tall at the end of the game. Then Tallinn girls bringing that championship, that long-awaited championship home in the midday game. And here we are at the final. Ellington following up Tallinn. Two schools that are no strangers to each other. Familiar faces, familiar foes in the old NCCC, but Ellington trying to finish off this great day of soccer. And we want to remember a lot of these goals today have been scored around that same time frame. So we're going to keep an eye on it. In our last game, Tallinn scored 12 minutes into each half. And then a little bit later for Glastonbury. That's been the moment so far today.
Boy, Miller's working hard. And there's Torres with the ball who lays it across the middle.
Stevens so smartly collects it back. There'll be a little pop in to the top of the box. Ellington's going to win that one, but we're going to have a call.
Yeah, that's a foul on Plainville, charging at the player. He wasn't playing the ball.
Jim, I have to, as we have a little bit of stop, I have to note this. I was fortunate enough to go to Ellington's practice yesterday, and a couple things caught me. But the biggest one was Coach Gernon rode the team bus. He lives in Tallinn. The practice was in Tallinn. But what I loved is he rode the bus from Ellington, went with the team, and then went back with the team. Maybe a small thing. Maybe it's something I'm making bigger than it needs to be, but the connection there that, hey, I'm with you. I really appreciate that. And you can see why that bond is so tight between him and his players. Yeah, I'm gonna go through this the whole way with you. Am I making too much of it?
No, coaches have styles, and I think that is Roy's styles. He's there with them. He is, he's got a great soccer mind. He's obviously an incredibly successful coach, but he knows that in order to win, that needs to be a group, a team, and he's part of that group.
Isn't that a little of the psychology of it too? It's almost that mental side of it that coaches have to look at throughout.
I don't think there's any question that the mental side of soccer is way more important than the technical side at this level.
Well, I think the mental side of any high school sport is so instrumental in building a team. Plainville again.
Looking for Torres on their win, but they don't get it. Ball's off Ellington. Plainville's going to continue to press forward.
Love the energy Plainville's come out with here in the start, the first 14 minutes or so. They said, hey, we're going to stick to our game, play what we do best, and they've certainly raised the level and expectation of what we can expect in the final.
Here's Grzuski with the throw into Stevens, who tries to turn successfully into the box with a left foot toward the keeper, who holds on, and he needed to because number 11, Logan Miller, was there for a rebound.
Good hit by Stevens, trying to get that rebound, test the goalie on the near post. He makes the save with 26:20 on the clock, and we keep playing a scoreless game here in New Britain.
And here comes Plainville again. Torres makes a nice move, running through the center of defense, slides the ball through. The flag's up, though. This one's not going to count.
Banging through. Flag is still up. They're going to continue on. There we go. Jim, as we kind of regroup here, let's look at the goaltender. We've seen a little activity from him on Ellington's side so far. Mitch LaForge, he's been around for this Farmington team for a while. Ellington, sorry. Again, I will get it right at some point. As a goalie yourself, what struck you about how Mitch has played?
Well, really when I talked to Coach Gernon, he said that the thing that really impressed him about him is that in last year's tournament, he grew from beginning to end to the point where he would never have been on Roy's short list for a captain for this season, and by the time the tournament was over last year, the players picked him as captain because he took that kind of leadership role. So far what we've seen is a goalkeeper who's been able to handle the chances and not give up rebounds, and he hasn't had much decision-making yet, but it looks like Plainville's going to continue to put pressure on him, so we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, the note I have here when it comes to Mitch is the vast improvement he's made over his time at Ellington. Just a confident leader now, and really stepped into a role that maybe he didn't know he was going to step into when he started at Ellington. Ellington will now play the ball. They're going to move it out of the back here. That's Roman Dugovic. You've probably heard his name. He's been a factor for Ellington for countless games this season. He's one of the better players you will see from the NCCC.
He's the only senior in that back four.
He's just steady, smart, and as you like to say, a soccer player.
He's got 9 goals and a handful of assists, so from that position in the back.
Yeah,
so,
9 goals from the back.
He's pretty valuable.
That's the one thing Coach Gernon said. We are not afraid to make runs from our backs. So keep an eye on that. You will see that probably throughout this game. 23 on the clock now in the first half. Ellington with a corner on the far side. Service played in high.
And cleared by Plainville.
Trying to get it, Zahner, in that situation. He's wanting that ball, but a good win by Plainville. And the Ellington defense will have to recover a little bit here.
A little panic there, actually. The center back didn't control the ball well, but they weren't under pressure, and yet they still drove the ball deep.
Nice stop by Jamison to get the redirect for Ellington here. Hit me if I get close to saying it one more time. That's Maznicki. He will get brought down outside the box, and we are going to see our first real dangerous set piece.
18 yards out from goal, just wide of the penalty area. There are lots of options from here. You can take a shot and bend it into the goal. You can drive it across the face of goal, or you can play to a runner cutting into the open space between the wall and the bunch of players in the back. So this is a dangerous area.
Many great set pieces from Ellington's past here, so they will be ready.
Plainville has 2 in the wall.
Look at that.
Maznicki hits it directly into the wall. And now
Maznicki's
Krzyzewski wins the ball back and starts on the run, plays it out on the wing to Miller. Torres runs overlap. And Ellington is able to win possession.
good ball play
here's the ball through.
What a ball.
Challenging to play that through ball, straight run. You really want to play a straight ball to a diagonal run or a diagonal ball to a straight run, but straight, especially on turf, is pretty challenging.
And the guy making the play, a name you will find familiar if you've ever been through Ellington, Ethan Mosier. His dad actually played with Coach Gernon. Look at that save.
And a save off the line by the Ellington back. Krzyzewski takes a hit from the top.
Put that moment down in the books, Jim. Big one.
That was a big moment. You know, the Plainville shot was stopped by the Ellington goalkeeper, LaForge, but he gave up a rebound right in front, and one of his defenders had to save the ball off the line. With about 22 minutes left in the first half, that would have been a big break for Plainville.
LaForge caught that. It looked from our angle right in a very difficult spot to grab hold of it.
Yeah, when nerves are on, everything's hard to hold.
Hard.
Right?
Everything's hard to hold.
He's given up a couple rebounds so far, so you don't want to watch his hands to make sure he's squeezing it.
And that's where Plainville's speed comes in. They can react to a rebound like that pretty quickly, as well as any team in Class M.
Krzyzewski has the ball in the wing. He pushes it by the Ellington back. He's getting into the box. Cuts it back. A penalty shout from Plainville, but nothing from the referee. Poked away by Ellington, so it'll be a Plainville throw.
We had no shortage of drama so far. 20 minutes into this one. Some great opportunities, but we're still scoreless in New Britain. It's 0-0.
Tyler Miller in the corner with the ball. Tries to whip it across. Ends up with a corner.
Boy, oh boy. Plainville does not stop. They keep coming at you, and here's another big-time corner. And we've seen some good services already from Plainville in this opportunity, with this type of opportunity.
Ball's on the ground in the center of the box. Shot from Stevens. Off the underside of the football crossbar. Just high.
Crafty little touch to poke it back to Stevens, who then lets one rip. And just in that upright situation, upright area. Certainly you'd have to give, if you're scoring the first 20 minutes of this fight, you're giving it to Plainville at this point, right?
Plainville's on their front foot, and Ellington is certainly retreating. But, you don't get back points in soccer. So until the ball goes in the goal, it's just a little bit of a territorial advantage.
Again, looking for Miller on the outside. LaForge is going to scoop that ball up before he can present any danger to the Ellington net. And he's going to slide it way out to the far side at this point. And Cooper Schmidt, we haven't mentioned his name yet, Jackson Cooper Schmidt, but he's another guy you're going to want to keep an eye on. As Coach Gernon said, since day one, he's a younger player, sophomore, but there was no keeping him out of that lineup. He was meant to play for them, meant to be in there. And I love this line from Coach Gernon. He says, when he makes a pass, we still have it afterwards. Again, a very simple point, but could you ask for anything more from a player?
No, not a midfielder, that's for sure. Here's Plainville on the attack once again.
Uh-oh. Miller with the ball. He'll get a rip. And what a rip it was. Another high-pressure situation. And Ellington going to get the goal kick.
Ellington gets the goal kick. I thought the goalkeeper got a touch on that, actually. But
certainly looked like it from up here. Remind you, we are up pretty far away in the press box. But it looked like
the referee
a touch. Yeah.
The referee in the air is much closer than we are.
Yeah, that is accurate.
Although we're warmer.
Yeah. Don't be a jerk now. Eastern Board officials calling this final game of the triple header tonight, and we've had some solid officiating across the board. Often our officials at any sport are often maligned, but we want to give out a shout out to the officials that have come here to New Britain today and done their best to not make it about
Here's Cooper Schmidt with a ball at the top of the box. He goes down, nothing awarded, and Plainville is on the counter.
Stevens tries to make the move, the same move he made about 3 minutes ago, but it's still moving forward.
Grzuski out to Miller. Miller's at the top of the box.
Takes a breath here. And look at this ball slide in.
That's an offside call.
Yeah. Pretty clear cut over there. You're the rules specialist.
The assistant referee was in position, so we will assume that it was a good call.
It's a good answer. Good response.
Well, it's almost impossible to call offsides from
Yes.
300 feet above the playing surface.
Well, we know there might be some people wearing certain colors in the stands that would make that call. And we play on here at 0-0 with 16:40 on the clock. Ellington will move the ball out to the wing and try and push up. Jim, have they had enough wing play for you? That's one of your favorite phrases.
Now, this game's been narrow.
Yes, exactly.
They're playing, much of it has been played inside the football sidelines, never mind the soccer touchline. So I think a little more width would do both good.
Are you surprised then that we've seen the kind of game kind of window in here and not utilize the space as we kind of thought we would?
You know, we've seen what we thought we'd see in that they are pushing the ball from end to end without question. It is always easier to push it up the wings. But, here's a great run by Stevens down the middle, and he's taken down about 22 yards from goal, 23 yards from goal. This will be a real opportunity for Plainville. I think you're going to see Torres over this one.
You read my mind. You talked to Coach King about this. Well, who would be the person to step up? They certainly have a lot of talent, a lot of people that have the ability to put this into the back of the net. But who do you think we'll see here early on here, 15:44 on the clock?
Well, Torres, Stevens, and Grzuski are all standing over the ball. So this looks like they're going to run one or two over the ball. Stevens is likely going to run over the ball and run through the wall. And then Torres is going to hit it. Actually, Torres just with the shot and clears the goal line by quite a bit.
Oh, if you're at home and you're watching our clock and you're screaming at us to start, we're playing a little bit of catch up here. And there we go. We're back on track where we needed to be. Again, we're rookies on the board here. We're doing our best for you. Jim has kind of left me out to dry and making it, that's my situation to handle the board, right?
Yes, it is.
Succeed or fail. But a solid teammate there.
I'm old and my cheaters don't allow me to see the screen. So
Ball cleared out far out there on the left side, the far side of the field. And we'll have a throw in for Plainville here. Here's Ellington trying to dump the ball down. Nothing there. And it'll be a Plainville regroup. They'll play it back out from the net here.
Zaldivar with a touch, looking to distribute. Plays it out to the wing. And here comes Plainville pushing the attack. Torres gets the ball in the middle of the park and slides it out wide. He's looking for Grzuski behind, but he underhits it. Ellington now maintains possession, looking to go the other way. Maznicki gets bumped from behind. Referee has the call. Allowed play on for a second, but when Ellington didn't retain possession, brought it back to the spot of the foul.
So Ellington will have the restart right about the middle of the field here.
Maznicki's limping a little bit, but my guess is you'd have to actually break his leg for him to come out of the game.
That's accurate again. A tough hit, though. Went right on the side of his hip. Ellington will now take the service.
Just 5 yards inside. They're going to dump it into the box. Looking for a flick. Plainville wins the header, and Steve is on the break coming the other way. Miller takes the ball, trips over it a little bit, and drops it back. And now they are using the flank.
It is funny how we've said it all game is how often the ball falls to the foot of a quality player like Stevens. He's going to find himself in the right spot. Just has that knack for it.
Torres tries to play through to Grzuski, but underhits it again. Good defense by Ellington, but Torres wins it back. 1-on-3. Lays the ball back to Grzuski, who plays it back over to Torres, and back to Grzuski. Service is a ball into the box. A poor clear by Ellington. The goalkeeper comes out and takes it. Some people would think that's a pass back to the keeper, but if it's not an intentional pass, the keeper's still allowed to handle the ball.
LaForge will wait. He'll roll it out here. And that's Ryan Jamieson that gets the ball started. He'll play it in. And we'll slide it now to the opposite side of the field. Real patience exhibited right here by Ellington. There's no need to get caught in a foot race with Plainville.
Well, given the waves that Plainville has been attacking them in, I would want to take a little air out of the ball.
That's exactly what they're doing right there. Maznicki will trap the ball down in the center of the field. He'll cut it over now.
And here comes Plainville once again.
Attacking
with pace. Grzuski's open on the wing, but Ellington cuts out the pass.
And that's Jamieson right there, stopping the ball, trying to thread the needle into Maznicki, but it's going to roll right back down to Serge. You like how I'm sticking with Serge?
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, okay. Next time.
Good defending by
Gervin, right? That's Alex Gervin on the close side of the field here.
Good individual defending it on Grzuski. Oh.
Grzuski, he's a guy you mentioned to me coming into this one. What have you liked, especially so far, from what he's been able to give to his side?
Well, he's just dangerous. He's only a sophomore, and I can see why Tim's so high on him. He has been working. They're looking for him. Plainville's going to get chances, and they're going to come from Torres and Grzuski and Miller and Stevens. I think you see them combining up front.
Well, a throw in for Plainville on the far side of the field. Jim, as we have the play right here in the midfield before it gets too dangerous, I want to talk to you a little bit about the feeder system from Plainville. You've heard us talk about it with Ellington. But with Plainville, it's been something that's really been developing over the years. The youth programs have been getting a lot stronger in town, and they've really put an emphasis on bringing out the quality in players. So when they get to the high school level, they're ready to compete.
Yeah, we've talked about this before. A high school coach has 16 days from the first practice to the first game, and it's hard to make a player better technically in 16 days. You need good, strong feeder systems so that when the kids come into your high school program, they actually have the basic skills down.
Yeah, it's been a special story. Overall, as a town, you do think soccer to a degree when you think of Plainville. A lot of different types of players that come out of Plainville, but really the last few years, they've always been counted on to give a good run when it comes to tournament play. That's Cooper Schmidt putting the pressure on, trying to get it reversed. Plainville still with the ball, still with a throw in on the side. They'll play it down the wing, but Ellington with the easy clearance. They'll boot it way far down. And another throw in for Plainville.
And the ball goes out of touch for an Ellington throw. Cooper Schmidt takes a touch, but the ball stolen from behind and a foul. Plainville in a dangerous place, about 30 yards out from 27 yards out from goal, just outside the.
And right at this moment, Jim, the clock ticks under 10 minutes. We've got 9:25 on. For Plainville, they're going to get another good look at the Ellington net.
Yeah, it looks like an in-swing free kick from out here. They're going to run bodies across the face of goal and try to get it into the mixer. Oh, looks like a little too close to the keeper.
He'll handle it easily. And he'll find the outlet to Zahner on the wing, who will try and get it off, but he's swarmed quickly by three guys.
Three Plainville players, including Krasuski.
You think he was in the game plan a bit?
Yeah. Miller back to Torres, over to Krasuski. Stevens wants the ball down the wing, and now he gets it. Driven into the box, but cut out easily by Ellington.
That's Cooper Schmidt with the clearance. He'll try and get it up here, but Plainville so solid in the back there, not letting anything catch them by surprise and get Ellington off racing.
And here's Ellington on the break. Cooper Schmidt hits the ball wide. Ellington retains possession. Now they have it out on the flank. And they slow it down once again.
You know, it's an obvious statement you hear a lot in soccer, but they're doing such a good job, Plainville, of keeping the ball in front of them. They are not letting Ellington create their own space or time at all so far.
Two Plainville defenders dive in, and then a shot from distance rolls easily to the keeper. Maybe a little impatient there.
You getting a sense, Jim, Ellington frustrated at all about this defense that Plainville's throwing at them?
I think Plainville's defense is actually that they have the ball most of the time.
Well, that would be a good defense, right?
You know, they just keep coming at Ellington in waves, and so not sure it's frustration yet, but it's got to be getting a little close. Although I played a state final against Ellington where we had the ball more than they did. And
how'd that one end up?
They ended up walking away with the ring, so I think they know how to win games like that.
Looking now at the sheet, what did Coach Gernon and his Ellington Purple Knights want to do? A couple things he noted. I just said, look, I'm not asking for the game plan, but give me some notes. Make sure we know where 10 is. Make it challenging and difficult in different ways for a lot of his players. And then at the same time, don't forget where 8 is when you're watching 10.
Yeah, 8, 10, 11, 12. They've got a bunch of guys going forward with pace.
Yeah, and he wants to. He knows he has to play it quick around the 8 and the 10, and make the goalie move. So those are the keys. And we haven't seen that quite yet with Ellington. But as you wisely noted, they will wait for their moment. Nice little ball played in, then at the outside, and they're going to swing it to the center. And Plainville will play it back. The Spider-Man.
Oh, Ellington puts Spider-Man under pressure. Cooper Schmidt wins the ball, goes back at Plainville.
Yeah. If you're Ellington, I think you saw something right there, Jim, that you might want to keep trying to do a little bit more as this game goes on, is keep that pressure on Spider-Man.
Yeah. I'm still surprised that as much of this game is being played in the middle of the field as it is.
Well, they wanted to prove you wrong. Ball played out now. Very composed from out of the backfield. And here's Stevens now with the ball in the midfield. Here they're going to swing it wide for you. Where are they looking after they get it wide? Miller will have the ball. Try and push it down. We'll have a throw in here for Plainville.
Miller's going to take a break. Krasuski comes over to take the throw. Number 25, Joseph Page, replaces Miller. Stevens now has the ball.
Stevens will just try and go through two guys there. And it will bounce off an Ellington defender. And I think they're going to reverse it here, clearly. You saw what we saw. And now Stevens will take it.
Yeah, Plainville has been better in possession. But Ellington is standing strong. Krasuski.
That's Miller now in the center of the field. He'll drop it off to Stevens, and he'll give it back out wide. Stevens with a good ball in.
It's Page. He's looking for
That's
somebody
Miller
back
with
at the
the ball
penalty
in.
spot.
As if on cue, Jim, they're now using that side of the field. And I think that'll be a goal kick just out of bounds. Miller just couldn't track it in time. We got 3:30 on the clock and was still a scoreless game here in the Class M final.
Yeah, there's something Plainville likes about this right flank area now.
Yeah.
They've had far more attacks down that flank than the other. And while most of the game has been played in the middle of the pitch, when they come over here, they've been
More
trying
dangerous,
to get into 2v1s and 3v2s to create opportunities.
Ball will easily be collected by Jamison there. They were trying to go to Miller on the far side, just as you had said, where they were trying to create those opportunities. And Ellington will dump the ball down. It'll be a header out, and we'll reverse back upfield.
Torres to Krasuski. We seem to be calling the same names a lot.
Yeah. Miller will collect, try and go through the Ellington defense. Jamison was ready there, but he's going to throw it down. Stevens. Stevens going to make a run, and we're going to have a corner kick.
Nice tackle by the Ellington defender. But a dangerous corner for Plainville.
Here we go again, 2:13 on the clock. We're nearing our 2-minute warning. Plainville trying to get that first goal here in Willowbrook. Here in New Britain.
Deep header. Deep corner to the header. Plainville again heads over. The keeper had come off his line. The Plainville attacker won the challenge but couldn't put the ball in frame.
And I think for the third time today, we got a field goal for the Plainville side. And we move on. We carry on at 0-0. Plainville has come in. No panic, no worry, no nerves, certainly from way up here in our bird's eye view. They've been settled from the first whistle, and they've played like a team that's been here, is not making their first final appearance. But, hey, simply good players step up in big moments, and Plainville's got a lot of them. And Ellington is holding steady, again, not breaking at all.
Oh, a cheap giveaway from Plainville.
Jamison will try to run on, but
And
trying to go through the wall is not always the greatest to move. But Plainville will reverse it. They have it on the near wing.
It'll cut out nicely on the ball, intended for Miller. And it'll be a Plainville throw.
Yeah, nice interception there, reading the play well. We're under a minute here in New Britain. And again, it's a scoreless draw. Plainville's shown a lot so far, has retained possession and kept the defense of Ellington very busy early on in the first 40 minutes. Stevens holding on to the ball. Tough play there.
It's a tough player. Torres looking for the pass. Finds Stevens.
He'll get it right back. Jamison not wasting around with 20 seconds on the clock. He's going to boot that wide. But still, Plainville with an opportunity here.
There's Miller in the corner. He's trying to get a ball across, but the Ellington defender's not giving him any space. He's in the box. He slides it through the middle. Oh, Torres just beaten.
Ellington will get the touch,
And
that
that's
will
the
be
half.
it. That will be it. We are locked in a scoreless draw so far. One half in the books, Jim. It's 0-0 in our Class M final. We've promised you action. We haven't got the goal, but we've gotten plenty of action, plenty of things to talk about. Plainville has come in playing the card of underdog, and they've played it well so far. Take us through your thoughts in the first 40 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, Plainville had more of the ball, and they had the more dangerous opportunity.
In Plainville, 0-0, final 40 minutes, and we are underway in the second half from Veterans Stadium in New Britain. Played on Sunday in Connecticut, and we're capping it off here with Ellington and Plainville. 0-0, final 40 minutes, and we are underway in the second half from Veterans Stadium in New Britain. Plainville will pick up right where they left off with a lot of energy to start. The Purple Knights will play it out here from the back, trying to make their way up.
Stevens steps in front of the pass. There's Nicky.
And we'll have our first whistle in the second half.
35 yards out from goal.
You're the set piece specialist here.
Gruzynski setting up to whip the ball across the front of the box. You're getting numbers at the far post. He wants to overhit this, not underhit it. When you underhit it, you create a counter for the other team. You want to clear those first few defenders.
Ball played in now to the front of the box. Plainville going to try and chase this one down.
No, it was off an Ellington head, but the Plainville player kept it in. Plays it over to Torres in the middle.
He'll pop it up. And
It's Miller.
That's Jamison handling it for the Purple Knights on that side. But we'll have a quick throw in again for Plainville.
And headed away by Ellington. And here's Ellington on the counter, taking the ball down the left flank. Plainville has numbers back and plays back to the keeper.
You've heard us mention the names Miller, Torres, Stevens throughout this thing. But, Jim, I want to shift the focus a little to this Ellington defense. What have you liked from their play, their back four so far?
Again, they're clearly communicating. They're working hard together. The center back, Roman Dukovic, two-time all-conference player, two-time all-conference center back, he's the real deal. So while Plainville's causing problems for Ellington, they've only had a couple true chances.
I mean, overall, as a unit, they're very tight and impressive. You have Mosier in that other center back position, Correa there in the right back situation, and as you said, Dukovic, both Correas back there. Right. We haven't mentioned them enough, but they are two special players in their own right as well.
Yeah, Roy says he has trouble telling them apart sometimes.
Yes, he did say that. I don't know if he wanted to say it on record, but they are identical twins, obviously.
One in the back, one in the midfield, but they play right in front of each other.
And the thing Roy said to me when he admitted that he has hard time telling them apart, he said, I always look at the cleats. That's the giveaway.
My West Holland teams had identical twins as well. One was a goalkeeper and one was a defender. So
I remember those twins. They were pretty good. They were pretty solid.
Actually, they're both playing at Eastern now for Greg DeVito, but at least one of them had a goalkeeper jersey on, so I could tell them apart.
Ball played up now to Zahner. Zahner will push it back, and Ellington trying to catch Plainville early, just like Plainville tried to catch Ellington early in the first half. But here's a run back the other way.
Running at the defender, gets by him, a late slide tackle, pokes the ball away.
He's going to keep it in, but then now a little hard pressure applied there in the corner. We're going to wait to hear. It's going to look like a service from just outside the box on the near side.
Referee is talking to the Ellington player, John Chamberlain. It was a foul in the corner with the player facing away from the play, so there was no way really to play the ball. Torres looking to whip it into the box.
Headed up by Ellington, and the Ellington defense. And now it'll be cleared way wide. take one bounce along the sideline. It's going to roll out of bounds. Zahner will now get it on the sideline, looking for the quick throw-in. And he'll find Cooperschmidt there, who will play it quickly. Cooperschmidt does not waste much time with that ball. He
Nope.
knows where he's going to go with it right away.
Well, Roy mentioned that when he gets the ball and makes a pass, they tend to keep possession.
Yes,
you
I
can
love
see
that
him.
line.
You can see him signaling to his team to relax and slow it down a little bit. Now the ball back to Plainville. Square ball across the back is always dangerous, but played back to Zaldivar, who boots it just over midfield.
That'll be Jameson that will win that for the Purple Knights, and now played up, but we're going to bring it back. They're going to say a little bit of...
The assistant referee flagged the Plainville player for a shove in the back.
Yeah. Mosier will now take it, drop it into the top of the box.
Headed out by Plainville.
And a quick little fire there, just to keep the goalie honest. He's going to handle that confidently.
You know, Mesnicki doesn't have any place on the field where he can't shoot from.
You've heard us call his name a lot more. Zahner and Mesnicki, if you're an Ellington fan, an Ellington supporter, you want to hear those names more often here as this time clicks down. And we've seen here in the first 5 minutes, 5:30, that they've been more active. They've been trying to contain the ball a little bit more than they did in that first half.
Yeah, you know, Mesnicki has pulled back a little bit. He's playing almost in a deep line
Glad you pointed
midfield
that out,
position. He's now up forward for this free kick where it looks like Ellington's going to dump it into the mixer and hope they can create an opportunity. But I think Coach Gernon's solution to some of the pressure by Plainville was to put Mesnicki in a place where he's going to see more of the ball. Shot on goal, easily handled by Zanzibar. But there's Mesnicki trying to put pressure on him in case the rebound came free.
Now, look, we're 6 minutes in here, but it looks like a smart adjustment on the part of Ellington so far. It's created a little bit more buzz.
Big kick bounces over the head of the Ellington defender, and now they're facing their own goal. But they play out of the back nicely.
That's Alex Correa. You heard us mention him previously just a few minutes ago. But he's a guy you want to activate into your offense. Get him going a little bit more in this game. Hear his name a little bit more.
Ellington seems to have settled down. They're trying to keep the ball a little more, not press quite as much as they were in the first half.
Plainville, you mean, correct?
No, Ellington's got more of the ball now than they had before. In the first half, I think Ellington, when they won the ball, were pushing it forward, but they realized that was giving it back to Plainville more quickly. So now when they win the ball, they're settling down a little bit, trying to play a little possession. Royce commented during the week that this team can play a number of different styles and isn't limited to just one way of working.
They had to adjust, but here you see, if you're looking down at the sideline, Rory had something to say to the official on the near sideline.
That's a dangerous ball into the box. Not cleared by Plainville. Now it is. And there's Cooperschmidt winning the ball and playing it back to his defender.
That's Jameson that will play it out to the wing. He'll get it back again. Jameson confidently sliding it over to Dukovic back, and they're going to play simply within each other right there on that side, that far sideline. And look at this.
Nope.
Nope.
Ball went out of touch.
Bring it all the way back.
Throw in for Plainville. We said at the beginning of the game that there was a good chance this would go end-to-end all night. It looks like Ellington has decided that's not in their interest. So when they're winning the ball, they're actually holding on to it a little longer to stop those Plainville attacks.
So you're saying we might be wrong in our early assessment of what might happen here?
No, I think we called it exactly, and Roy has now made adjustments to try to stop it from happening again. That pressure they were under in the first half was pretty intense and consistent.
It's a lot to ask to withstand that throughout. Ellington now regrouping. Ball will come out to Correa, the other one of those identical twins. Mesnicki now with it. He'll try to change up the field. And Jameson, not much he could do with it there in tight. Man on him. Plainville will get the ball. Throw in now. Maznicki will head it back to his defense. That is Dukovic with the ball.
Oh, giveaway by Ellington in the back. Stevens has it. Looking to lay it outside to Torres, but Ellington has him marked. Back to Grzyzewski. Over to Torres. He sneaks through the defender. Drives the ball on goal. It pops out.
Deflection right there for his teammate. And that's what we talk about with Torres, that ability to create that flash of action that can turn a game on its head.
He reminds me quite a bit of his brother who played for Plainville, was All-State just a few years ago.
That you scouted a few times. And they're going to handle it quickly. Why we have a second, Jim, can you talk, we've said his name often, even as difficult as it may be to pronounce, but number 12 for Plainville, it's been his number has been called out a lot today. He's held the ball a lot. He's given them a lot to be happy with from the Plainville side.
Yeah, Grzyzewski, and
yes.
We do hope that's the way you say it. Tim Brown is very high on, believes he's an actual Division I talent, only a sophomore, great speed, makes lots of runs, very fast first step. He has definitely been dangerous for Plainville, but now talking about dangerous, here comes Ellington on the counter. The ball's down in the corner to Ryan Zahner. Lays it back to the middle. Plainville cuts it out.
It's easy to see why Coach Tim King is high on that. His player, his number 12 player, brings a lot to the game for Plainville and has really shown up tonight in the championship.
You know, I asked him how he compared to Quentin Lux.
Yeah, I remember the name.
Who played for Plainville a few years ago and now is at Central Connecticut.
A little pressure there from Ellington, handled by Plainville.
And Quentin, when he went to Central, they moved him into the back, and in college he's been playing as a defender. He said the biggest difference with Patrick is you would never put him in the back because he's so dangerous going forward.
His first step is quite impressive. Ellington now with the ball. They'll play it down, but the Plainville defense is ready. Intercepts the ball, plays it out to the wing. Chamberlain trying to put some pressure, trying to slow it down over there. Headed back up. Plainville will now get possession, push it towards the middle of the field a little bit more. And they want to get this thing over to Stevens. Stevens quickly to Torres. And now Torres will play the ball in to the middle of the field. They're looking wide. They're going to pull it back a little bit, though. Torres now to the far side wing.
It's Miller. Stevens wins the ball at the top of the box. Little heavy touch, but he may chase it down.
Yeah, he's got to chase it down. Mosier will try and man up with him, but Stevens is going to slide past. There's the pass to the middle of the box.
Shot.
A nice hit. Nice hit to the near post. It will slide out of bounds. Just missing, stuffing the near post there,
Number
Jim.
3, Tanner Rao for...
A name we haven't called too much today, but again, speaks to the depth of this team.
Well, he was opportunistic. The ball popped out at the corner, and he took the shot. Didn't quite get onto the end of it.
.27:36 on the clock. We still are knotted at 0 here in New Britain. We play on in the Class M final. Ellington, the top seed, looking to complete a perfect season. Plainville, the underdog story of the tournament, giving everything they got to this top seed and more in New Britain. Correa there, Alex Correa, another half of that twin tandem. Ball played in for Ellington and cleared out quickly.
Yeah, Ellington definitely putting much more pressure on Plainville this half than they did last half. They definitely made some adjustments at halftime. Here's a long ball into the box, easily gathered by Zaldivar, the Plainville keeper, who quickly plays it out to his right.
Jim, one thing I'm certainly going to take from these 3 finals we've seen, all the halftime speeches from all the coaches that need a good halftime speech, they've been strong. Both teams have come out strong and made the proper adjustments. If you look back to our first game, to our second game, until now.
Well, we've got some great coaches in these games that are able to make the kinds of adjustments you need to make. And
you don't get to this game if you're not a great coach. And both all programs we've seen today at Willowbrook, strong programs that the state could be proud are playing in the final game for their respective classes.
Tanner Rao working hard to pin the ball back in the Ellington end, but Ellington keeps possession, passes up to Cooperschmidt. And then Grzuski wins the ball back. He's got it along the touchline. A beautiful move. Another step over. He's trying to turn the corner, but Ellington's defense stands firm. He drops the ball back to Rao. Over to Stevens. Slides it across to Torres.
Boy, I was going to let you call that one out. I just wanted to watch as a fan. Some pretty play here from Plainville with 25-30 left in the half. Left in this final, it's still 0-0, but Plainville, we're seeing the flashes of brilliance we knew they were capable of. They've come to play, but really like the craftiness that they're taking on the wing in that situation.
Yeah, nice, short, quick passing, quick playing combination. Trying to get defenders that step toward the ball and then beating them around the backside. Plainville does it very well, but the Ellington defense has been resolute. And here's Ellington on the counter. Grzuski doesn't just go forward. He tracks back there, wins the ball, plays it into Miller.
Miller now will switch it back. Torres with the ball.
Oh, poked away nicely. Mesnicki,
No
what a surprise.
Panic. No panic. Plainville will regroup now.
Miller over to Grzuski.
Stevens with the ball.
Touches it to Torres. Chips it over the top to Logan Miller. Just out of his reach. And cleared by Ellington.
Deep counter pass. They're trying to bring it down.
Zahner gets on the wrong side of the defender, but Plainville showing some fight, gets it back, plays
good.
it off Zahner and out of bounds. So it's going to be Plainville ball.
Great win. Coach Brown will have to be very happy with that play right there. I want to apologize. I called him Coach King, referencing earlier.
Ooh, Stevens turns the corner and he's into the box. He's taken down just outside the box. Nope, it's played as a corner kick.
Yep. Break down what the ref's looking at that in that situation there, Jim, and what he is using to make that call. You can hear the angry calls from the stands on our side right now.
Yeah, he either called that the defender got the ball and then the player tripped over his leg, or that he didn't touch the player. Not sure which one from here, really. Ooh, nice shot by Torres. Zagnicki flicks it on at the back post.
Cleared out there by Ellington.
Got more sustained pressure from Plainville.
That's Nick DeBase that we haven't called his name out. Sophomore, athletic, fast defender for Ellington.
Another corner kick for Plainville. Tyler Miller taking the ball along the goal line there. Grzuski with the corner kick. Looks like an in-swinger, although Torres wants him to take the short corner. It is the short corner to Torres. Grzuski loops around, is going to try to play a ball into the box. Lays it off the top. Shot from distance. Fanned, but it goes to Stevens in the box. He doesn't get the shot off. Ellington counters. Cooperschmidt has it. Rao fights to get it back, but Cooperschmidt wins the battle. Oh, not Cooperschmidt. Number 18,
It's
Correa.
Alex Correa trying to make the fight there.
10-18.
It's been a long day.
It has.
Played out there by Johnny Chamberlain. Played up. Give his guys a little bit of a breath. Tucker Rao will get the throw in for Plainville. He'll send it into traffic.
22 minutes left in this match. The energy has not gone down at all. Mesnicki looks to play a ball long through the back of the Plainville defense. Plainville clears to Torres. Torres, Tyler Miller. Tyler Miller on the dribble to Stevens and continues his run. Stevens looks back but under hits the pass. Ellington cuts it out.
Now we'll play it off. Well, 18 minutes, 19 minutes into this one, Jim. Give us a quick assessment of what you've seen from the first half of the second half.
Yeah, and Ellington made some great adjustments at halftime, and they managed to keep the ball, slow the game down, and stop Plainville from the consistent attacks that they had in the first half. And Ellington has managed to put some pressure of their own on Plainville. When Plainville gets the ball, they remain dangerous. So the most surprising thing about this game is that it's still 0-0 because both teams like to attack and have done a decent job of attacking.
Yeah, look on paper what they've done so far in this tournament. A little bit of danger. Ellington will retain the ball, push it up. You know, in their first game, Ellington scored 7. Then they come back with 6, 5, and 1. On the other side, Plainville has been impressive on
Ball over the top into Stevens, who's got the defender on his back.
Ball will stay in.
But the referee's going to call Stevens for a little push.
Yep.
His arm came out away from his body. I thought he had a good shoulder challenge initially, but extended the arm, and that's going to get you caught most every time.
Plainville has scored 4 in their opening game, 3 in their second game of the tournament. Then they go to PKs where they only get 1, but they win against Granby, another team that a lot of people were high in coming into the tournament, and they beat Stonington 2-1 in their semifinal. Ball will be played out wide to another one of the Crias, those identical twins we've been talking about. Cooper Schmidt very quickly moves the ball, plays it behind, and Ellington will regroup. That's Chamberlain that going to the wing. And he'll play it out to Correa, who will be defended well, and Plainville will get the throw in. Ball played back, and now they're going to try and push it up again through the midfield.
They love to go through Torres. There's a long ball over the top to Stevens. He was onside. He's in on goal. The shot. Oh, a beautiful save.
Woo, 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 woo. And we remain scoreless. It is 19:22 on the clock, and a great play, great pass, and a big-time save from Mitch LaForge in net. That's why he's there. Coach Gurnan put him there. He said he's gained so much confidence and leadership, and he comes up big for his team in the moment.
Grzuski lays the ball in the box. Header, but now cleared by Ellington. Yeah, he took that shot from 18, and I wonder if he had another touch. Make the goalkeeper make a commitment. Now we have offsides on Plainville.
Easy to say from up on our perch, but he put a good hit on it, didn't he?
He put a good hit on it. You never know how close that defender is on your back.
Yeah.
And you don't want a defender to be able to poke it away. But I always told my players, if you can get into the box, you make defenders defend differently because they can't afford the penalty. So you take one more touch, make the goalkeeper make a decision, and then try to slot it. But it was a good hit.
Another great point from our in-house coach here for kids listening at home. But we play on. It's 0-0, 18:26 on the clock. Ellington and Plainville locked in a great game. We are back. That's Maznicki sliding it wide. And we will play on. Ellington trying to put a little bit more pressure. Ball in the midfield. And again, Plainville ready for the play. And they're going to try and go back the other way.
Grzuski to Stevens. Back to Grzuski. Over to Torres.
Let's see what your man Torres can do in this situation. This is where he likes the ball. Such good vision. We'll play it back to Logan Miller, who will now slide it to the middle of the field.
Nice shield by Stevens. And the quick counter by Ellington. A long ball over the top. This is dangerous. And Ellington wins the battle. Keeper's off his line. Great save.
Oh, good save. Very good save.
That's a very dangerous situation. Ball hops over the top. Good battle. Good battle.
Again, a quick hit from Zahner in that situation, Jim. But the Plainville goalie just so on top of it, so ready.
Well, and that's different, right? Because the keeper's way off his line.
Yeah,
if I'm Zahner, I'm going to try to put that ball over the top and beat him. But he got it down into the goalkeeper's range, and he made an excellent save. Here's Ellington breaking through again. A shot from the top off the back of the Plainville defender, headed down and cleared by Plainville. As Nicky flicks out to his teammate. A little hard to pick up the numbers on the far side of the field, but Ellington's got a chance to whip one in here. Now it's Ellington applying the pressure.
And Jamison brings it down for the back line. He'll see Maznicki. Get him the ball. Maznicki will trap it. And the ball played wide and out. Well, a couple subs coming in here now for Ellington. You want to catch us up, Jim, on who we will see coming back into the game? It looks like Alex Gervin and Jonathan Grecky, if we have the name right.
Ellington looking for a long throw out of the snow. That's a tough ball. It comes out of his hands low. Cleared back out. And back to the defense. They're going to reset at midfield.
Here's Jamison with the ball back in.
Stevens wins it and plays it up to Krasuski, who's one-on-one. He doesn't take a touch, and the ball's cut out. Ethan Mosier coming over to make a great play. You don't want to be one-on-one with Krasuski. Logan Miller lays it back to Torres.
You know, Mosier, another guy.
Not Torres, sorry.
Very big, very strong guy. He can hit it a mile, and he's really followed the lead and tried to emulate what Dukovic has brought to this Ellington team. He's been a great addition this year for Ellington.
Oh, what a great read by the Plainville defender who lays it out to the flank.
Favorite stat about Mosier? Coach Gurdon coached his father.
That's true.
Yeah, that is a... Coach Gurdon had a laugh about that. That is a stat you don't often see.
That's when you've been around a while.
That's when you've put in your time.
Stevens, strong on the ball. Looking for Torres. Doesn't quite get the pass completed. Masnicki lays it out to the flank. Beautiful ball.
Yeah, good look. Really good look to
And
Raya.
Ellington's going to possess. Oh, there's a giveaway. Rao. Now Plainville's going to reset.
Yeah, they'll keep it away from Crya and Cooper-Schmidt there, the whole possession.
Logan Miller with a couple of Ellington defenders on him plays the ball back. Rao looking inside. Turns outside. Fell on the ball on the line. The referee said it was still in. Tried to get up, and the Ellington defender played it off his leg. Mosier lays it across the back.
And we'll have another go at it here. Sending it deep downfield. Ellington get the header. And the ball will be played out.
Ellington throw. Rao made a strong recovery run, was able to play the ball out. Those long balls over the top are creating opportunities for Ellington.
We've got a good match here, Jim. Both teams matching each other point for point as this thing plays out. But as you said in the first half, there is no scorecard. There is only one way you win this game. Ball played out now on the near sideline. Gervin with the throw into the box.
Nice win by Plainville. Masnicki's on top of it at the top of the box, though. Ellington retains possession. Long ball played in.
He'll go down, waiting for the whistle. It's not going to come. Ellington and Plainville will play on here on the near sideline.
Zonner went down easily there, and the ref wasn't going to award him with a kick in that spot on the field. Oh, here's a square ball across the back, a little soft. Plainville steps up, wins it. Torres to Stevens. Stevens on the ball, out on the football sidelines. There's Nukrika, runs through the middle. Beautiful ball. He's got a shot. He drags it across the goal. There it is. It's a finish for Plainville.
And we've got our first goal of the game. Plainville will strike first with 11:50. A beautiful play, Jim, and a great finish to take the lead in their first final. Bring it down through us. That doesn't get much prettier than that.
James Rousey. Now, Stevens made a great strong run with the ball up the side of the field. Krasuski, diagonal run into the box. Instead of taking the no-angle shot or whipping a ball in, he looked back on the floor for James Rousey, who just side-footed it into the net. A classic counterattack goal. Ellington had started to put some pressure on, but when they won the ball down here, Plainville made them pay for getting stretched out at the back.
They've made a lot of great decisions, and that was probably the best one so far right there. Some beautiful execution, Great vision to make that play all come together. And now we have a game. It is 1-0, 11:50 to play on the clock, and Ellington is going to have to try and get the equalizer here. They're going to have to the press.
Stevens is very strong on the ball, and that could help them late in the game. Now he makes a big run up front. Mosier cuts the ball out. Ellington pumping a ball down the middle of the field. Keeper comes out, chips it to the sideline, and Plainville retains possession.
That's Dukovic now coming in, playing it to his teammate just outside the box. And again, good defense from the Plainville side there to force Ellington to have to go backwards. Chamberlain will get it, play it out to the wing.
Well, it didn't take long for Ellington to make adjustments here. You can see Dukovic already in an advanced position. It looks like Ellington's gone to 3 in the back. My guess is Coach Arnon just said to Dukovic, get up there and score.
I mean, if you're Coach Gernon in this situation, still a lot of time left on the clock, but it is getting tight now. What do you like to see in the next 3 minutes from his squad?
Yeah, chances. I want to put the ball in dangerous places. Long throw, cleared out by Plainville. You want to put the ball in dangerous places. Goals don't need to be pretty. They just need to go inside the frame. So I think they...
and they often aren't pretty at this time of year or in finals. You know, we've seen many finals where they aren't the prettiest goals that...
You know, Matt, every goal my team has scored in November has been beautiful.
Oh, here we go.
Because they're beautiful when they go in.
Spoken exactly like a coach.
The Plainville fans are very excited, even though there are still over 9.5 minutes left in this game.
That will be Mosier now playing it up. Jamison will bring it down off his chest.
So, yeah, Ellington hasn't adjusted the formation. I think we're just going to see Dukovic roam forward when he sees opportunities.
That's going to be a deep, deep throw-in for Plainville.
Yeah, this is an opportunity for Ellington to try to pack them in, right, to keep them down in that corner. Looks like Plainville's gained about 15 yards on the throw-in.
We're going to have...
you get a free kick?
Yeah, we're going to have a big-time free kick here.
This is going to be dangerous.
And it is, again, we're trying to get a look on that number. The glare is a little tough from that side.
Number 13 for Ellington taking the kick.
That is Ryan Jamison will take a step up. 8:48.
It's an in-swinger into the box. Dangerous area. Flicked on toward goal. It's going to go off goal kick. Those trusty binoculars come in handy.
Yeah, that was huge right there. Clutch moment for Mr. Leahy. And it is getting loud. You hear the Plainville fans on the right side of the stadium, the near side, right behind that Plainville bench. Ellington will possess now, trying to get through. And it'll come back, and it's going to come back. Plainville with the ball on the sideline right next to their bench. 8 minutes to go. Plainville up 1-0, trying to put the capper on our championship Sunday from New Britain.
Stevens carrying the ball with speed. Oh, he gets taken out by Mosier, but no call.
He went sailing on that one.
Hard hit. That was a strong tackle.
Strong tackle indeed.
And the Plainville fans are not happy. The assistant referee now calling for a foul on Ellington. The referee has granted the call. Dukovic is now playing striker for Ellington. Plainville in no hurry to take the kick or switching kickers. They have to be careful here. The referee has it in his power to both stop the clock and issue a card if he thinks they're stalling. Long driven ball into the box. Cleared out by Ellington.
To follow you up with your Dugovic note there, Jim, let's remember where he started when he started playing. He wanted to play forward and mid for Coach Gurnan from the beginning. Well, he's going to get his opportunity in his final game.
I'm pretty sure right now he can play anywhere in the field he wants. Roy wants him tracking the ball and trying to create chances.
He's a guy with the type of mindset where he's going to attack at all costs. Good with the ball at his feet. Another guy that can get around the corner quickly. He's everything you want when your team is down with 7 minutes to go in a state championship game.
Mosher drives the ball up, headed out. Torres clears it over to Grzuski.
Jamison with the win there.
Yeah.
Try and bring it down. Plainville fans want a handball call.
I didn't see one.
Yeah, and they're not going to get it.
Oh.
This ball's played out wide.
Grzuski making the run to the corner. Rao plays it behind him.
And here we go. We'll go forward now with Ellington. And Stevens right
wins
there,
the ball
takes
from
away.
behind. Now takes under pressure to the middle. This looks like a shot coming. Ooh, slides it through, but we have an offside.
Definitely a step ahead there.
Pass was just a little late if that's what he was going to do. Attacker needs to hold the
dangerous ball
run.
here. Very dangerous ball. And there's an opportunistic play by Plainville. Seeing the play. Softball played out.
Now just dump into the corner.
We're at 5:20 on the clock now. Plainville holding that 1-0 lead. Looking for a historic moment for their program. 5 minutes away. Their fans can feel it. The bench is up. Both benches are up. And we've got
We're up.
We're up. Well, we've been up all game. But another good crowd here, a big Plainville crowd. They've come out and supported this team throughout the tournament. And the team on the field has done their work to keep them happy.
Another free kick for Ellington. Into the mixer. Knocked up in the air. Plainville tries to clear. Doesn't get it out of the box. Knocked down. Mesnicki out for a goal kick. You got to give him credit. He gets to the ball. He just couldn't get that one on frame.
And you can see him fall to the ground there, wanting it back. He's going to get another opportunity. 15, still a lot of time left to try and find that equalizer. But the nerves are getting ramped up at this point. Plainville with the goal kick out. Stevens will flick it upward. And like he's been all game, Chamberlain there to settle the ball and get it back to his teammates.
Zahner couldn't control that, and Plainville win. Plainville is not giving Ellington a lot of chances on those big touches. Yeah. They're quick to the ball.
They don't give him any room to breathe, Jim.
These long balls from Ellington into the box have been dangerous. They're creating opportunities. Here's a ball to Mesnicki, who lays it back.
That's Jamison trying to play it through, and that is not going to get by Torres.
Nah, Torres with a bad pass, though, but Grzuski wins it back. Lots of change in possession here. We see the pressure building up in players. Ellington at all costs to go forward.
Yeah, they can feel it now. There's 3 minutes on the clock here in New Britain at Veterans Stadium. Ellington looking to get on the board. And remember, they have not gone a game this year without scoring. This is a perfect record on the line for Ellington.
This is an attempt for them for their 4th undefeated season. 2 of them with 1 tie, and the 1972 team, which went undefeated and untied.
But remember, no team has had as many wins as this Ellington team. A couple records.
This would be 21, right?
Yeah, no team has scored as many goals in Ellington history, and no team has held other teams to as many goals. So a lot of records coming in.
Oh, here's a break for Plainville. Miller in the middle, laid it off to the side. Torres knocks it back down.
Jamison just trying to get it out for Ellington, kicks it right back to the Plainville side.
McCrory fouls the Ellington defender.
We have 2:30, 2:25 now. Time is ticking away here as Ellington trying to find that equalizer, trying to force overtime.
Stevens once again steps in front of the pass and dribbles with strength toward the Ellington defense. It's one-on-one with the center back. Cuts it to the side, hits a shot, just wide.
Good hit. Good read. I mean, Stevens, you've heard us talk about him all game, but he has been as good as advertised.
You know, as a coach, I wouldn't mind if he took that ball and ran to
Yes.
the corner flag with it. I could use a minute off the clock.
I was
here
trying
more
to give
than
him
a
some
shot.
praise there, Coach, but
Hey.
I just liked how he read the play right there.
It was a beautiful step to win the ball.
But you're right. Ellington will get the ball, but look who wins it back, Plainville here, and they're going to push it up. And you think
I think Miller's going to go to the corner.
Miller-
Maybe not.
that's Mosier shutting him down there on the left flank, the far
There's
flank.
Stevens again. Plays it up to Torres. Torres down the middle of the field.
90 seconds on the clock.
Diagonal through ball is going to roll out for a goal kick with just a minute and 24 left. Another substitution from the Plainville bench.
How your nerves doing?
I'm good. I was never this calm on the sideline.
You were a little bit more animated. 1-0 lead for Plainville as we inch a little bit closer to that final minute. Ellington with the goal kick, trying to get one last ditch effort, put everybody up. And you see the subbing going on the side.
Referee has stopped the clock.
And that means we need to stop our clock too.
Referee
and get back up.
stopped the clock and conversing with the fourth official. Looks like they're asking Tim Brown to limit the substitutions.
We're going to try and catch you up on that clock right now.
There's the goal kick from Ellington. Cooper Schmidt. Oh, Maznicki over the top. Dukovic has got the ball near the top of the box. A beautiful little back heel, but cut out by the defender. Dukovic knocks it down again to the outside. McCrory lets it go out of play. He thought it was his throw-in, but they've given it to Ellington, who whips it into the box. The clearance header. Plainville wins it. Maznicki wins it back and whips it far post. You got Cooper Schmidt. Keeper comes out. Cooper Schmidt tried the volley. Goalkeeper made a great play. Spider-Man got there just about the same time as the ball, knocked it down, gained possession.
35 seconds on the clock,
I think
Jim.
you're going to see, there he goes, hit
There's
a
the
drop
boot.
kick as hard as he can. Ellington wins possession, but now Plainville wins it back.
The sense it's coming. Now 22 seconds away.
They won't be in any hurry. There's
Yep.
18 seconds left. They'll have to make this throw, but they're not going to be in a hurry to make it.
History awaits now for Plainville, Jim. Well, we're under the 10-second mark, and it's going to happen. The journey is complete for Plainville. They can finally say it. They are state champs.
Tough way to end a great season for the Ellington Purple Knights, but you have to be happy for Plainville, the first state championship in the boys soccer program history. And they played a very good soccer game. They were dynamic throughout the night.
Dynamic is the perfect word for it, Jim, but what a run from this Plainville team. They were as good as advertised. The underdog story gets the perfect ending. They beat the team with the perfect record. They're walking off with a 1-0 victory here at Veterans Stadium. Just a great result for Plainville. They came to play. You used the term dirt dogs. They brought the energy from the first whistle, and now they can celebrate with their fan base. I'm just looking over at this crowd. A lot of people from Plainville came behind, supported this team. In the semifinal, I had a couple friends watching the game, and they noticed that the faculty in the building from Plainville High School, a lot of the